At Cantina 1511, they start working for the lunch crowd early. They're roasting tomatoes to make their signature fresh salsa. And when that freshly made salsa hits the table, all hands start reaching for chips.
It has that homemade, fresh feel to it. I like that.
At Cantina, even the flour tortillas are made by hand. Dough balls dropped into the press one at a time, sliding out onto the grill.
Everything literally is made from scratch.
I haven't had this much fun forever.
Ben Felmalter and his partner Dick Campbell are the new owners of Cantina.
I'm having the greatest time. I've enjoyed this business. I love being in it. I love what I do.
Obviously, Ben doesn't sound Mexican. He's from South Africa. But he and Dick Campbell, who's from the South, both know and love Mexican food.
Mexican food to me is a lot more about sharing. 85% of food in Mexico is eaten on the street.
So one of the first things that Ben and Dick and Chef Phil Carter created was a sample platter of Mexican street foods, perfect for sharing.
These are unusual dishes.
There's a taste of fresh snapper on a corn tortilla covered with a zippy chili sauce.
Either broiled or baked. It's not fried. It's very healthy for you.
And there's steak tajita. That's a mix of pico de gallo, cheese, and steak rolled in a tortilla, flash fried till crispy. There's also chicken tayuda on the plate, kind of like a Mexican pizza with chicken and cheese and onions. The street food sampler is constantly changing.
We will introduce new dishes for people to sample, so there's lots of new things happening all the time.
Ben Felmalter came to a convention a few years ago in Charlotte. He liked the city so much he decided on the spot he wanted a restaurant here. He jumped at the chance to buy Cantina. He's operated several dozen successful restaurants in South Africa.
Something I've wanted to do forever. When I was in high school, I decided that I was going to be in the hospitality business.
Ben made his career decision after reading a book about life in a French restaurant. His partner Dick Campbell grew up in restaurants too, mostly around Atlanta, and he was involved in the early days of Bojangles. Now these two guys love creating authentic Mexican dishes, like duck.
I'm crazy about the duck carnitas.
Making duck carnitas is time-consuming. Whole duck carved in the restaurant. It's covered in spices and fresh lime juice. It marinates overnight. Then the next morning, 2 hours in the oven.
Then we're going to have our duck.
Now that shimmering liquid the duck cooks in is called manteca, also known as pork fat.
The most tender and moist duck that you've had.
Before serving, they get the duck nice and crispy on the flat top.
See that manteca putting that nice crispy skin on the duck.
It's served on tacos with avocado salsa and pickled onions.
Such a special dish, and it has just such a unique flavor.
Another unique flavor is pan-seared duck breast, covered in a glaze that's made from Mexican oranges.
It is most probably the best duck I've ever eaten in my life. It was spectacular.
I do enjoy the fish and the pork tacos, the chicken.
Chicken with chili spice is a new item here at Cantina. A half-grilled chicken. Just look at the crispy char on the skin. It marinates 24 hours.
What we call a margarita marinade. Lime juice, you have actually a margarita mix in it.
That's good.
My favorite is the barbacoa.
Barbacoa is Mexican barbecue. It's not like North Carolina Q. It starts with fresh cilantro, soy sauce, Worcestershire, white wine, and spices, all blended together, then poured over the pork. After hours in the oven,
This is how you know it's done. You see how that piece of meat just fell right off?
the barbacoa is falling off the bone. It's served with tortillas so you can make your own tacos.
Everything is fresh.
Fresh and authentic. And of the many restaurants he's run around the world, Ben Felmalter says this one is by far his favorite because he loves his new home in Charlotte and he loves the food.
Amen to that. Anything wrong? Nothing wrong with that.